Hi, my name is Christopher Peddle. I'm here to talk about the Power of Hope scale. I received a 360 out of 360. Let's dive into the first question. Do you think your final score accurately reflects your experience of hope? I think the final score of 360 out of 360 accurately defines my meaning of hope. Um, I think I've done a lot of things to ensure that I'm always hopeful and going in towards the future. I think maintaining a schedule is one thing that operationally helps me. Um, Not a lot of things can deter me from losing hope because I've set up certain foundations to ensure that I am always in a system of maintaining hope. Would you hope? Would your hope scale be different if you took it a month ago or a month from now? I think so. If the circumstances were met with me losing hope, say I lost a car or I went through something traumatic, I think hope could fluctuate. That's a very strong question because hope indefinitely does fluctuate. There's highs and lows to every situation, and I think the scientific method and psychology are great fields that talk about the different mental processes of mental health and things that may come along the lines of mental health and psychology. How well do you think the scale operationally defines hope? I think the scale operationally defines hope in a strong way. It asks certain questions that help you identify with what measures hope, even though hope is a very difficult thing to measure. I think it does a great job asking the appropriate questions for an individual to see where they lie alongst the lines of a mass populace. This is a microphone. Yeah, I think it did a good job. I think the scale did a good job asking about personal questions, how people go through adversity, and those things may change depending on who you may ask and the time that you ask them, which is a thing as psychologists and people who take data. Uh, it also matters. You have to be empathetic when maintaining and coordinating a session with certain people who come to you for therapy. All right, question four, we're running out of time. Why do you think something like hope is hard to measure? I think hope is hard to measure because it's very subjective alongst the person you are asking or you're trying to measure it in somebody. You could take data for behaviors and for someone with developmental disabilities and mental challenges, but to measure how hopeful they would be, that would take a lot more analysis to measure what their hope would be. Even though the scale did a good job, the survey did a good job, but if you really want to measure it and pinpoint how much hope this person may have, you're going to do basically be a life consultant. And we're at 33 minutes and 30 seconds. Let's end it.